welcome to CodeBase, Stirling and another episode of LevelUP. Hello everyone, today I'm going to introduce you to MakeCode Arcade, which is brought to you by Microsoft MakeCode. So MakeCode Arcade is a free open source platform that will teach you how to code by showing you how to program your own arcade video game, which is pretty cool. So this is my favorite platform currently. The URL is up here, arcade.makecode.com, and this is the home page. The first thing we see is the projects. So this is where you can start a new project, and it's also where all of your current projects are saved. If you complete a tutorial, they'll also be saved over here. And you can just scroll through them by clicking the arrows on either side. We'll get into the projects in a bit. If you scroll down another layer, you get to the tutorials. I would suggest going through each of the tutorials. Each tutorial will introduce you to a different concept, and you can group them all together to create a really cool platformer at the end of it. The next level down is a new section, so this is the live coding. So every day, MakeCode have been live streaming certain projects. All of those videos are compiled in this line over here. So that's a good place to go for resources. The next section down is the blocks game. So MakeCode Arcade is a bit like Scratch, where you do your coding in block coding. There's also an option to change to JavaScript. So these two options are games in block coding and games in JavaScript. What's really handy with these games is you can use them as inspiration for your own games. So if you wanted to learn how to animate something, you'd find a game that used animation and you could copy it to incorporate it into your own games. If we click on Falling Duck and we open the example, we'll see exactly how they've made their game. On the left hand side of the screen, you have your little arcade simulator. So the game, once it's ready, will pop up over here, and you'll hear the end of game sound. There we go, we died. So you can play your game over here. The center section over here is where you can get all your blocks. And this right hand side over here is your workspace. So just like Scratch, you'd open up an option and you would drag out the block. You drag it back in if you want to delete it. Up here, up here we've got an option to change between blocks or JavaScript. What's interesting is you could code in blocks and then change it to JavaScript just to give yourself an idea. It's gonna keep happening. Just to give yourself an idea of what your code would look like if it were in JavaScript. However, if you are comfortable with JavaScript from the beginning, you could start coding in JavaScript straight away. Back to our blocks. As I was saying, if you had a coin, for example, that you wanted to animate, you could come into this game, see how they animated their duck, and copy that, incorporate that process into your own game. In one of the coming tutorials, we'll discuss animation because things have changed since this version, but it gives you a rough idea. After the JavaScript games, we have community games. So these are games that people in the community have created and then shared online. Hopefully you'll create some cool games and share them with us too. And below that is game design concepts. So how to animate your hero to walk. Starfield, that one's really good. It shows you how you can animate your background. And underneath that is graphics and maths. So if you're more into the graphics side of things, you could just come here. There are lessons, there are courses, and then there's the hardware. So the cool thing with MakeCode Arcade is you can create a game, download the file, and then upload it onto a piece of hardware. In one of our future episodes, we'll show you how that works with the Meow bit. And then below that is John Park's workshop. On YouTube, John Parks has a series of workshops where he introduces you to new MakeCode Arcade games and discusses certain problems. So that's a really cool channel to check out. Anyway, that's it for today. Join us next time where we'll actually do a bit of coding. But if you liked what you saw, like and subscribe, and all the information will be in the description box below. Bye!
Thanks for watching!